Starting with our case from Cleveland, Ohio in the Cuyahoga County Common Pleas, where the sentencing of a convicted serial killer is taking place.
How you doing? My name is Keandrea Cook. Right now, I guess we're supposed to, in our hearts, forgive this clown. It's touched our families, taken my child.
Michael Madison, born on October 15, 1977, is a convicted serial killer and sex offender from East Cleveland, Ohio. He gained notoriety for a horrific string of murders that took place over a 9-month period in 2012 and 2013, claiming the lives of at least 3 innocent women. Madison was arrested, charged, and ultimately convicted on 3 counts of aggravated murder for the brutal killings and mutilation of 3 young women in Ohio. His heinous crimes sent shockwaves through the community, leaving families devastated and seeking justice.
I am struck by the sheer inhumanity of what one human being can do to not 1, but 3 human beings. It is incomprehensible. You cajoled, lured, and deceived Shatisha Shealy, Angela Deskins, and Sherelda Terry to your apartment for your depraved purposes. You went on to abuse the corpses of these 3 victims. You stripped them from the waist down. You folded them in half, binding them so that their feet were up by their ears. You wrapped them in multiple layers of trash bags, and you discarded them. Upon consideration of the relevant evidence, the testimony exhibits admitted in mitigation, it is a judgment of this court that the aggravated circumstances of course of conduct, felony murder kidnapping, felony murder rape, of which the defendant was convicted, outweigh the mitigating factors by proof beyond a reasonable doubt. Accordingly, the sentence of death is imposed upon the defendant Michael Madison on counts 1, 4, and 7.
In a heart-wrenching moment caught on camera, the father of one of Madison's victims, Sherelda Terry, stepped up to the podium to deliver a victim impact statement during the sentencing hearing. A victim impact statement allows the victim's family an opportunity to speak during the sentencing of the convicted criminal, with a mere few feet separating him from the cold-blooded killer who brutally took his daughter's life.
How you doing? My name is Keandrea. Father, Sherelda Terry. Right now, I guess we're supposed to, in our hearts, forgive this clown. It's touched our families, taken my child.
He's looking directly at Madison, and in a blink of an eye, he attacks Madison. After the intense confrontation, Mr. Terry was later released without charges, allowing the court proceedings to regain a sense of calm and order. County Judge Nancy McDonald hands down Madison's sentence. Michael Madison is sentenced to death and is currently being held on death row. Our next clip takes us to the S. James Foxman Justice Center in Daytona Beach, Florida, where a different kind of drama unfolds. Keandrea Cook, an 18-year-old defendant, finds herself facing a multitude of charges, including conspiracy, carjacking, attempted carjacking with a deadly weapon, and felony battery. Keandrea Cook finds herself in court, facing the consequences of a dating app scheme that went horribly awry. Cook had used the app to set up a robbery, which ultimately led to another teen being shot, though the victim survived. In an attempt to mitigate the severity of her charges, Cook accepted a plea deal that would drop the conspiracy charge, which carried a maximum penalty of life in prison. However, counts of carjacking, attempted carjacking with a deadly weapon, and felony battery remained on the table.
I just want to thank you. And thank the brother Kevin as much as I get a chance so I can get out and finish school. And I can put my mama proud because I want to be her first child to bring home a high school diploma. And I just want to make my mama proud. That's it.
As Keandrea prepared to hear her sentence, her loved ones looked on with bated breath.
Ms. Cook, you're before the court for sentencing. A couple of things going in your favor. One, you didn't hold the firearm during these episodes. The second is that the victim luckily survived. That being said, this was intentional. There was an orchestrated ambush, and you are a main part of that. And for that, I'm going to go ahead and adjudicate you guilty of all 3 charges, sentence you to 20 years in state prison.
The heart-wrenching cries emanating from the courtroom belonged to Keandrea's mother, as the sentence handed down was much harsher than they had anticipated. Their intense reactions stemmed from a belief that the plea deal meant no prison time.
Concurrent as to the first 2 counts. All fines and costs are self-imposed.
10 months later, Judge Foxman allowed Keandrea to enter a new plea deal, citing miscommunication between her and the assistant public defender as the catalyst for the revised agreement. As the result of this new deal, Keandrea's sentence was reduced to 11 years in prison. And lastly, we head to Sanford, Florida, where closing arguments are underway in the trial of Antonio Rosales. Antonio Rosales, a drifter with a violent past, is accused of a heinous crime, dragging a 10-year-old girl off the streets and into a wooded area, where he reportedly assaulted and raped her. During the heated trial, as Assistant State Attorney Anna Valentini delivered her closing argument, Rosales, through a translator, vehemently objected. Seemingly insulted by being labeled a child molester, Rosales grabbed a keyboard and smashed the computer monitor on the defense table. 2 officers rushed in to restrain him, slamming him to the floor. Amidst the chaos, Judge Deborah Nelson struggled to open a door, calling for assistance. However, Rosales continued to fight against the officers.
Please take the jury as a police report. I need the door will be open. I need a gentleman to take your back to go. I can't open that door. I need a deputy.
Finally, with additional officers' help, Rosales was handcuffed and carried out of the courtroom. Judge Nelson was forced to suspend the trial for the evening.
Everybody calm down, we'll take it to the recess.
The next day, the jury found Rosales guilty of kidnapping, attempted murder, and sexual battery. He received 3 life sentences. As you've seen in this video, top 3 shocking courtroom outbursts. These situations can get pretty intense. We hope you found this video eye-opening and entertaining. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more incredible stories like this one. If you have any stories or topics you'd like us to cover, feel free to leave a comment below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.